Hey, good morning, guys. Genevieve here to talk about our upcoming full moon in the sign of Cancer, and this is going to be Monday the 13th. It's going to be around 5:30, right before 5:30 Eastern Time, in the evening. And so, first of all, Cancer is a water sign, and let me tell you, this chart, this full moon is all about extreme emotion, okay? My oil blend that I make for this full moon is called Introspection because it is a very good time to go inside yourselves, inside figuratively and, really, especially since it's extremely cold outside. So a lot of us, if you have to be outdoors, you're outdoors. If you enjoy being outdoors, you're outdoors, but then we're hibernating. This is hibernation season. It's also called the wolf moon, and we've talked about that before, but the wolf moon, this is the peak season for nocturnal winter creatures to be out hunting at night. So whether, most wolves are pack animals, however, lone wolves do exist and they are out hunting as well. So they are something to be feared, or at least guarded against. So take care of yourself, stay with your pack during this full moon. Don't try to be a lone wolf, because resources are scarce this time of year, okay? So we're going to get into this. I said extreme emotion, and the reason why I say that, because we have, how many? We have 15 planets or aspects in water sign. There's absolutely zero in fire. So this is not like a time for creativity. This is not a time really for action, for energy, for passion, all of that. This is all emotion. This is all internal stuff. Okay. There are 6 planets in earth and 6 in air. So they're balanced equally. Thankfully, we have a little bit of earth and a little bit of air. Earth for grounding and air for uplifting, to get us out of, or to kind of keep us on an even keel with all this watery emotion. Okay. So, and again, Cancer, is the moon is in its own sign when it's in Cancer. So this is like in the summertime, this is the hottest, July, it's hot, you think about the crab. This is a good time for crab. And in the summertime, we're down in the depths. All right. Water signs especially are going to feel this. And again, since most of our aspects and planets are in water signs, this is definitely emotion driven. This is definitely, we're going into the depths here. Okay. So with the sun and moon, or the sun opposite the moon, the sun still being in Capricorn, we want to watch out for impulsiveness and unnecessary risk. There's also a risk of being selfish. Okay. So try to keep yourself in check or watch out for others being that way. There is a trine with Uranus and Taurus, which leads to an independent and creative aspect. It leads to progressive thinking, initiative, intuitive thinking, and this is a good time for people that are teachers, mentors, etc. They're really going to shine at this time. We have the moon is the sun is sextile Neptune in Pisces. So this is going to lend, thankfully, to a bit of a polite nature. This is going to highlight charitable work and giving. Again, highlight that intuition, spirituality. But it does tend to be a little bit of lack of order and structure when it comes to this aspect. The sun is opposite Pluto in Aquarius. So this is, again, going to bring these unexpected changes, and also in personality, spirituality, and profession. It does highlight a use of psychoanalysis. Those professions are highlighted, but there is a tendency to use those gifts or those talents to manipulate others to your will. So be on guard for people who do that, and also be aware of the tendency in yourself. So there's also concealed power with this. So there are people that may have an upper hand, might have a special gift that is not, or a talent that is not generally known, that they keep secret. They keep it hidden as their special little secret weapon. There is an issue with authority, male authority figures, father figures with this aspect for sure. So this is like where the fuck the patriarchy energy comes in. All right. So with the moon being the sign of the mother and nurture and emotion, opposite Pluto and Aquarius. In this instance, Pluto might look like the authority figure, and the moon is like, nah, 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 nah. So be on the guard for that. If you have a male boss that you tend to, especially for females, you have a father or father figure, or if you are a father or father figure, there's going to be a little clash there with the feminine and masculine energy at this time. Now, again, with the moon in Cancer, this is home and family, nurturing mother children relationships are highlighted. Okay. So there is a conjunction here with Mars that is going to bring some courage, some nonconformist attitudes, and finding unusual solutions to problems. However, this tendency also, or this aspect also lends to kind of controlling this energy, controlling family dynamics, does not want to give each other space. And especially with us being kind of, all cooped up at home with each other, this can feel very stifling, very smothering. That's what this energy is. Okay. Be on guard of that, especially in your interpersonal relationships, family relationships, and romantic relationships. Don't hang on too tight. Don't smother this energy. This emotional energy can really feel that way to a lot of people who don't like emotion, don't like that heaviness. Okay. Uranus. Oh, I'm sorry. The moon is sextile Uranus and Taurus. So there is this pushback of that and the need for emotional independence. This leads to stormy emotions and extreme mood swings. Again, my oil blend is introspection. It's a great time to diffuse that. This is when you want to sage your home. Certainly, we've got stale, stagnant energy from being cooped up. Also, you're going to be releasing these emotions, but definitely you want to sage afterwards and diffuse my oil blend. So moving forward, we have the moon in Cancer is trine Neptune and Pisces. Pisces being a water sign, it's at home. It's in its own elements here. Pisces and Neptune, or Neptune and Pisces. So it leads to a self-sacrificing nature in relationships, but also leads to a very sensitive and perceptive energy. Also, a very, very messy home. So if you've been a little bit lazy and lackadaisical with all these snow days, this time maybe to ground yourself and to kind of hold on or to steady those emotions by cleaning and organize your home. Actually get active to ground your emotions to keep them from getting too far away from you. Okay. We do have the moon opposite Pluto and Aquarius again. So this also highlights that self-sacrificing, but also profound experience and change is highlighted in this. But this is self-perception, self-change, self-awareness. Stop with the self-sacrificing. It is a noble thing, but with this energy, it's a tendency you're doing it for something. This is a manipulative tactic. Okay, so this can lead to actually very bad aspects in relationships, especially for signs who are intuitive and feel that manipulation and are pulling back from it. And this is that kind of, the more you pull back from this, this energy is going to chase it even more, kind of like that Cancer, that crab, just kind of like, and it's going to be hard to get away from under this full moon. This also is leading to that self-deception, okay? And not really being able to accept the way that you appear to others, accept maybe some changes that are occurring. Get inside, practice some self-love, some self-care, learn how to say no. If you are that over, giver, over nurturer, that martyr, put up your boundaries, learn how to say no. People that have been taking advantage of it and expecting it from you are not going to like it, or it's going to be an uncomfortable adjustment. That's okay. It needs to be done. Do it. And then we are sextile Venus and Pisces. So this is kind of the savior of the chart. Okay. And Venus is a little, because Venus is the sign of love, beauty, and relationships with the moon. So with the moon, sextile Venus and Pisces, this is going to bring some balance, some wisdom, educating and communicating about emotion, about sensitivity, about relationships. Okay. So this is where, if you're starting to feel the emotions to go to extreme, Venus is going to come in this aspect, in this good aspect, and kind of help out with this situation, balance those extreme emotions. However, Venus is kind of a little two-faced in this chart, because it's the sex, or it's the savior in this aspect, but then our problem children of the chart are Mars and Venus, especially as they're working together, as you're going to soon see. So, remember that old saying, women are from Venus, men are from Mars. Well, we're talking about masculine and feminine energy, and they usually are opposed. So where Venus is kind of helping out a lot in one aspect here, Venus in Pisces is very sensitive and compassionate. Love is fully expressed under this sign. But this part, the drowning in it, the drowning or feeling smothered or feeling pulled down into the depths, it can be excessive. It can manifest in excessive worry or sensitivity or vulnerability. Okay. Intimate relationships can start to feel very heavy. Stop giving your all or expecting your all from one person. Venus in Pisces is very apt to do that. And we've all seen it. And some of us maybe have played this dynamic out in certain relationships, especially dynamic romantic relationships, where you are giving so much all of what you have into one person, and you are expecting that in return, and it's very smothering to that other person, and it is also not healthy for you. You're sacrificing the best of yourself where you need to give it to yourself as well. Okay, so that is a problem. This is where you need some introspection to kind of balance that out. Partners, under this aspect, partners who don't like that smothering, who are more independent souls, will leave and find a less demanding partner. Okay. Now Venus, though, we talked about this a little bit, is sextile Mercury in Capricorn. It is square Jupiter in Gemini at this time. So this, again, is going to lead to the emotionally demanding nature, unable to maintain friendships even because of a selfish and demanding nature. This energy is very hard on themselves. It internalizes everything. Maybe is overly expressive with emotion, but then you're demanding the same things from other people and even your friendships, and it's just too much. You're expecting too much from people. Back off a little bit, okay? There is also a lot of artistic ambition under this aspect, but really kind of a lack of talent. So maybe a reality self-check needs to be in order, or continue to practice if it's something you still enjoy. It doesn't mean, if you don't have talent enough to make money at something, doesn't mean you should completely stop. But stop living in your fantasy, listen to constructive criticism, get a little bit more realistic, and tone it back. There's also, because of the love of luxury under this aspect, really just spending too much money and being wasteful because of the love of beauty, the love of artistry, of luxurious things, of feeling pampered. And a lot of that is due to the overly emotional nature. It's a comfort thing. I get it, but it needs to be quelled. It needs to be reined in. So also, this is in conjunction with Saturn, to where it brings faithful and stable relationships, and Venus is in Saturn as well. So it does bring faithful and stable relationships, okay? But this is not because of any sense of loyalty or any sense of real feeling or true emotion. This is basically because of strict adherence to society rules and norms. So you're loyal, you're faithful, under this aspect. not for your own personal reasons. And that will bring resentment over time. It will build over time. It's because society, and again, that strict Saturn society is telling you this is what's normal, this is what you need to do. And because of that, it is hard to build relationships because there's a little detachment of not sure, not knowing what it is, what you want. And because of that, you follow strict rules to appear normal. Okay. Now Mars is in Cancer. So this is actually going to lend to emotional and moody nature, but from the masculine energy standpoint, Mars is not happy in Cancer at all, does not like all of this emotion. Mars wants action, and Cancer is not an action sign. There is difficulty expressing emotion under this energy, and difficulty, especially like you might attempt, but nobody understands you, or you're trying to mull around and you're maybe exploding, you're expressing inappropriately. No one really understands what you want. So you're not really going to get it. So this, the way to work with that is practice clear expression. Okay. Again, meditation, getting introspective, like really thinking about why can't I get what I want? That stubborn Mars energy. I'm putting so much energy and force into it. Well, maybe because you need to center yourself. You need to pull back, think about, introspect. Okay. And like, obviously you're not going to, run into something full force if what that is what you're trying to get is soft and nurturing. Okay. You're going about it entirely the wrong way with Mars in Cancer here. It is sextile Uranus and Taurus. So this is actually going to lend to more extremist political movements, unfortunately. Okay, so there is, Mars is really angry at all of this sensitivity and emotion. It's supposed to have the opposite effect, but unfortunately it is not on this, in this chart. So this is extremism. This is also will lend well to short and fast performance, but you need to channel. So there's the one way you can go into the extremist thinking and extremist political movements, but channel that if you can. Again, get introspective if you have that tendency into engineering and into construction, into building. You have all this pent up energy and you can't do anything about it. Build something constructive. Okay. So we have a trine of Neptune and Pisces here. This leads to impractical nature, useless knowledge of culture, but like really not being able to function in society, unfortunately. And again, these are aspects, these aren't absolutes, but this is what you need to understand, that we're the energy that's at play so you can guard against it. And if you have these tendencies, you recognize it and work to overcome it. Okay. So this is opposite Pluto and Aquarius. Again, this is going to lead to stubborn and absolutist thinking, and being very sharp and critical with your judgment and with your words and your actions, and then your tendency to hurt other people's feelings. And unfortunately, under this, it's not accidental. This is like thought out. And like, no, I'm absolutely right. Everybody else is wrong, and I don't care whose feelings I hurt telling them so. All right. Be on guard for that. I unfortunately, in my worst, in my shadow, can be that way sometimes. I recognize it and I do apologize. But I am usually right. So anyway, so now we're back into the outer planets. And so, again, these are long-lasting influences. I've highlighted and touched on most of these, but just to quickly go over with Jupiter and Gemini, distractions make you forget what truly matters. Try to eliminate your distractions. Duality of philosophies or beliefs. Okay, twin energy. Okay, this is going to be there for a while. It is square Venus in Pisces, square Saturn in Pisces. Again, that risk versus reward and contradictory possibilities. Saturn being in Pisces, this is balancing your own needs versus others' needs, and balancing extremes. This is in conjunction with Venus and square Jupiter at this time. Uranus being in Taurus, this is the sudden changes in finances and property and just inconsistency, period, in relationships and personality. Okay, this is trine the sun. This is sextile the moon and Mars, like we just went over. Neptune is in Pisces. Neptune being in its own sign, and will be for a very long time. This is a very good aspect, but again, can be a little bit, it's era changing. It is generational changing. So a little disruption here. This is idealistic, sympathetic. This is the best nature. So let's work with this. Charitable. But the way to work with this best is being charitable and sympathetic and giving and even meditating and praying without expectation of reward, without expecting an outcome. Just do it because it feels right, because it's the right thing to do. Okay. So it needs to be sincere and spontaneous. This is kind of the lesson of this chart, and lesson all of us really needs to learn as we move forward into 2025. This is also sextile Pluto and Aquarius. Again, that long-lasting peace. It's transformative energy. And then finally, Pluto and Aquarius. Again, the freedom, the eccentricity, desire for change, but recognizing that your freedom also means that other people deserve the same freedom or the same right to freedom, even if you don't agree with it. So this is also very outward thinking, and this is going to be benefit, okay? But really, this is at the detriment of self and also just like security, surroundings or whatever. So that is kind of the win and the lose in this situation with Pluto and Aquarius. It's going to benefit most of society, but for the people that fight for it the most, they might actually experience loss from it. So unfortunately, that is a generational thing. That doesn't mean don't do it. It's still worthwhile. And you can get your satisfaction, your gratification in knowing that you have served your purpose, right? So anyway, introspection, guys, this is honestly going to be a very heavy full moon for most of us. We're also going to get some bad weather again, possibly over the weekend into the beginning of next week. So we will literally be inside. So you have no choice to get introspective with this energy. Just take it easy. Again, meditate, diffuse, introspection, definitely sage anyway under the full moon, this is a new full moon. Well, I'm going to be saging. This is also time to charge your crystals. I think I'm only going to charge my most powerful crystals for this one because it's a doozy. So I don't personally want to carry most of this energy with me. I have real issue with Cancerian energy, though. Father figure. My father was a Cancer. So anyway, till next time, blessed be, namaste, all that good stuff.